Apologies, everyone. I think there's a bit of a technical hitch there. By the way, my name is Afitu. I'm also a student of this course, though I've been here for a while. So I currently work myself as a project planner. Um, and like what Louis said, data governance is quite a good course if you're looking at a career. Um, if you're looking at diversifying your career, or if you're looking at doing something in addition to your career, because there are lots of data governance jobs which are remote jobs, so you can actually work from anywhere you are in the world when it comes to data governance course. And like what Louis said, we also have data analysts, you've got data protection officers, you've got various aspects to working with data governance training. So stay
Right.
tuned and see what will happen to all.
Thank you, Efe, and thank you, Louis. Those who you have heard from, their tutors in this training as well. Somehow along the line, you will be they will be guiding you in some practical aspect. We have Barrister, your hand is up.
Good morning, all. My name is Emmanuel, and I want to lay credence towards my other colleagues or participants in this training had also said. This is a training that you will all benefit from. You don't need any special discipline or degree or certificate to join this training. Some of us, like CEO or FA or Louis said, we've been on this course and we've learned immensely that we're now part and parcel of this academy. We've supported a lot of people, and they always come back to say it's unlike others that they would just train you and dump you. Some other people that have actually participated in other with other trainers, they came back here and they've also learned a lot. Some of us, we got 8 jobs at the same time. So I can categorically tell you that on this training, you will always smile. You won't regret it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Barrister. Barrister is a man with a weight of experience, practice in Nigeria, practice in Germany, practice in UK, also with he's a consultant and a coach as well. One of them is, he's also a tutor in this, so you'll be meeting them one by one. All right, so my name is Sylvester Ojobo. I'm an engineer, and I've been an engineer for 38 years, experience in oil and gas sector design as a pipeline engineer in Shell as well. I then go off working offshore many years ago, and also work in 5 top construction companies in entire Europe as an engineer, designer, a manager, and also directing some affairs, also a planner, and I'm also a lecturer in the university. So yeah, the head of data, also in a big organization as well. So as a matter of fact, I got 2 masters and 1 ongoing in law. Masters in engineering, MBA, and doctorate in view. Also a business analyst, data analyst, data governance analyst as well. I'm also a professional, Scrum Master, and I have, what if I have to say it is a lot. So, but however, we're here to make sure we have to articulate what we're here for, and I believe that we're going to get there. So, you heard from others who will be helping you, tutoring you in this training. You are expected to be trained here, nurture as well, prepare you, not only bringing theoretical analysis to you, but converting the same into practical action, as if you'll be working here for working in this field for more than 5 years. This practical aspect, I think where I thought Engineer Lewis will allude to it, because when you hear Engineer Lewis saying something, he's going to tell you, say, be very, very serious. If you're not ready to learn and to be trained, please, there's no point of coming. But if you're ready to work and be trained, you just prepare yourself to come so that you can make some money. Okay. So the main aim of this training in this place is to make sure people fill the gap, because about 98% data governance and lack of it has not been filled worldwide. So the little that have been filled, they are, for most cases, let me be very frank with you, from Asia countries, and they help themselves a lot, and people invest money in their training. Within the space of 5 to 10,000 pounds, company train people. But here we make sure things are done well in a minimal amount. But that being said, I want you to understand that put your heart there. That's what matters. You must learn what you're here for. So this is the main thing. And I'm going to send the link for you to understand some. But for those who just came in now, I'm going to go through a quick understanding of what data is before we go to another training. So have you heard? Can you see what I'm sharing from where you are?
Yes, please.
Good.
Yes, yes, I can see.
Good.
Yeah.
Udwak and Ola, what can you see here?
People also view data governance manager.
Okay, that's the position. That's good.
Yes.
So what can you see here?
125,000 euro per annum, up to.
Is it Europe? Is that Europe you're seeing there?
What's that?
Is that Europe?
Pounds.
Okay. Can you manage that in a year?
Not bad.
Are you already multiplying it? That is the position of data governance manager. They want to employ you. That's how they're going to employ you. Okay. So you can check that out yourself. This is actually a very small amount the way I'm saying it. Depends on your experience. So whatever that you see, the core responsibility here is what I'm teaching you to the core and even beyond. Okay. All right.
Okay. Yes, sir.
So the curriculum of this training has been put together in order for you to make sure you have about minimum of 5 jobs from the training. So the first one will be data governance framework. Of course, that will give you an overview of data governance principles and policies and best practice. If you go back to here, they tell you to develop data governance policies. Can you see that? So that's where you're going to be. Once you are acquainted with it, you just know you're going to be any high on that. Okay, so we're going to talk about data management. Just basically, that is the techniques for data collection, storages, and processing and retrieval. It's a very interesting aspect of it. And most interesting is the third part of the curriculum, which is data quality. So this deals with strategies. Strategy, have you heard the word strategy before? Strategy is a long-term plan for ensuring data accuracy, completeness, and consistencies. And of course, over time, when the data are being put to the test, they are reliable. So we have to work on data quality. Of course, those who are going to specialize as data analyst, you must put in this in your heart that this is what you're going to be doing all the time. Very important. And data privacy and security is one of the best things you can ever think of in data governance management. And no matter how you put your data quality or data has got integrity, you should be able to understand that. Latonio, do you need help there because someone is just there? Latonio, are you okay?
Yes.
Yes, I was trying to screenshot.
To screenshot, you don't need to screenshot.
Very well.
Yeah, you don't need to screen because it's even showing here. That's why I ask you.
Okay.
You don't need to, whatever Yeah, because it's very sensitive. Whatever you need, you're always going to have it. So in the training, it's your entitlement to receive, to get everything that you need to be. Okay. So that's why communication is important. So, and we have data privacy and security. So, which of course is going to deal with the laws and regulations and policy governing data privacy and security and strategies for protecting the sensitive data. Okay. So we're going to also be dealing with the metadata management as well. And this is big, very big as well. So, and part of it is the data architecture, which of course really lay emphasis on the modeling of data and warehousing and integration when you have metadata as well, putting them together in order to ensure the usefulness when you unify them together in your analysis. We're also going to be talking about data analytics. Of course, this is similar to the third aspect of it when you have data quality. Data analytics is very important. And as a data analyst, you must understand descriptive data analytics, diagnostic data analytics, predictive and prescriptive data analytics. Even more than these four main, we have real-time data analytics as well, not different kind of analytics, but in most cases, you're going to be using this four in most all the time. And we're going to be dealing with data visualization, of course, after you have worked on your data, analyze your data, you need to visualize it to be more meaningful to any stakeholder who is going to, take care of it. Maybe have an informed decision. Okay. Latonia?
Yes, sir.
Just relax because it shows here. Don't worry yourself about that. Okay? Is that okay, Latonia?
Very well, sir.
Okay. All right. So there was also like data ethics. So the ethics is moral consideration put in place to the guidelines surrounding the collection, usage, and dissemination of data. And this is very, very important that we should get that. Okay. All right. So we also have, data governance in practice, the real world situations, examples for any initiatives and challenges faced. So in most cases, this curriculum, this number 10, number 11, and number 12 will always be referred to right from the very first time the curriculum is being taught. So that being said, sometimes we do ask people, if you are asked what is data governance by definition, many people cannot allude to it. So it's sad sometimes with somebody who have gone to training, because I see some people that have been trained somewhere, they don't even understand what data governance imply. So generically, people do not understand it by definition. But before you define the governance of the concept, you need to know what is data. Okay? So what is a data? So can you give me an example, especially for those who just joined today? Have you heard of the word data before? And what is data? Okay.
Yeah.
Edward?
Okay. Data is an unprocessed fact.
Unprocessed facts, eh?
Yes.
Okay, that's a very good try. Who else again? Somebody should compliment Udra.
We can say that are the statistics that have been collected together for either analysis or references to make reference or to analyze it. Yeah.
Wow, that's good. That's a very good try. That's a very good try. Good. So, Dwight, if the data is processed, so can it still be data?
If data is processed, it's information.
Good.
With
So what that means is that it's not just unprocessed, information. Even when it's processed, it's even an information. Is that correct? Good. Now, that being said, I refer to data as values and symbols and all information that is processed or stored in a computer of any digital devices. So of course, we do this in order to have ensure that data has sense and also be useful. It helps to have it helps to have any enterprise to have an insight and knowledge of what they have received, and also make them to have an informed strategic decision making. So that is what data really is. So, but there are other things, there are different definitions that people have alluded to it. Okay, but what if you have known what is data governance? So generically, is the execution and enforcement of authority over the management of data and data-related asset. I love the word data-related asset. Very, very important. There are so many definitions that people have given based on that, but the one for, Siena 2014 is absolutely very, very, wonderful. But having known that, I personally gave my own personal definition as, is as the overall management of the availability, usability, integrity. I underline that word integrity because as you begin to know more about data governance and data analysis, you're going to be seeing the importance of integrity with respect to data governance, okay? So integrity and security of the data used in an organization. So this actually involves a set of developing of policies, processes, and standards that ensure that effective, I think at this point I need to highlight it. Do we have Tony here? Do we have Igor here? Igor? You can speak wherever you are.
Yes, sir.
Marcel, are you there? Marcel. Shall I underline this? I like this. I want to underline it for the first time. Effective and efficient use of data as a critical corporate asset. So I kind of look at the governance of data as a critical situation because it helps to look after or create a value from for a company or enterprise as an asset. Very important. So that being said, I want us to understand today I'm going to go through a few things. So for example, I want everyone to answer this. What the organization can expect from participating and involving its data management capabilities? What do you think organization is expecting from their participating in data involving its data management capabilities? Any answer? Why does organization or enterprise actually need to involve. Yeah. Allah, you want to speak?
Can I answer, please?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So my little understanding, I think it's basically to project, to be able to effectively project the future. If I may just put it that way, to be able to effectively project what is likely to happen in the future and make adequate preparation for it. Thank you.
Absolutely. The answer is right there. To have a better quality data, greater data access, new opportunities for leverage data, and more reliable and robust reporting. So in a digital-driven world, we can expect that data becomes the driver of this. And let me just give you a case that of a company, Ocean Wise company. Okay, so why data management? That is a similar question that you may be asked even in an interview. So because it really matters. Why does it really matter? Why? Why so important? It's actually derived from the term, the fact, or the meaning fact. It's a fact, it is the new oil. Which oil are we talking about? The new electricity. Which oil are we talking about? Hola? Udat? Which oil are we talking about? Is it crude oil or granite oil?
Crude oil.
Crude oil. Okay, it's a new electricity. Okay, we're talking about data. So you could see that with the economic trend, even social value and even political, etc. Right now over the world, you discover that most things are go digital and data is the driver of the same. So that means without data right now, it is very difficult to carry out activities by enterprises. So on that basis, it is expensive, and so it's a valuable asset. That's why people are highly paid. So if it is a valuable asset, so it must have integrity, okay? If it doesn't have integrity, then the value will not be created as expected. So we collect data for a reason, we hope for, and also use for references and analysis. So let me just cite an example of such. Why? Because you live in this training, especially those who just came for the first time, should be able to convince or talk to people why you're doing something, even convince your person and say why you should do something. So in nowadays, we realize a lot of from research, we have 2.5 quadrillion grams of sand on Earth and 7.5 quadrillion bytes of new data created every day. Every day. That is big. And 90% of all data has been created in the last 2 years. Those who are researchers, you should know what I'm talking about. So that is why in most cases people do, a research and also use secondary data. And even when they think the secondary data is no more, really kind of also suspecting that the answer to their research questions just there, but then they want to affirm it. They want to create more data in order to validate their data. So that is why more data are being created every day. Okay, so it's very important that we get to know this. And average business data volume double every 1.2 years. So you can see the visualization process that is right here. And that's where the money is. So what am I saying if it is that? Do you have WhatsApp? Do you have Facebook? Why is it that you sign on Facebook? People sign on Facebook free, and then someone who has a Facebook, is it Facebook or Bookface? Is it Facebook or Bookface? Who do I?
Facebook.
Okay,
Facebook.
I thought you Bookface. Okay. Why is it that after 1 year, somebody with Facebook will send something to you, say, we care for you, and that's why we are giving you, it's only you that are seeing this. you can share. Why? Greg, you want to speak? Why is it? Have you ever seen that from Facebook?
Yes, yes.
Okay, why is it that you sign on Facebook free and then they will still tell you they hold your data so, and then they care for you so much, and that is why they bring in something you have done for 4 years, send it to you so that you can share. Why do you think they are doing that?
I have never really thought of that, but I think it's because they've been able to keep your details and manage your data.
Yeah, can I also
Yes.
say, but they use the word they care for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, why do you think they care for you by holding your data? Do you want to phone a friend? Hola?
No.
Okay. Okay. Who else can help? Who else?
I would
Leonard?
just,
Yes, right on.
okay, thank you, sir. I was actually going to think in a line of perspective as well. And the reason why Facebook would send me, of course, I've seen that message quite a number of times
Yeah.
on my Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Facebook has been able to do that simply because Facebook has my data with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And why would they want to tell me why that they care about me? Well, I think it's about basically it's about business. So they need to project their business interest as well, basically. Thank you, sir.
I love that. Okay, any other person?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you. Right on.
I'd like to say I think they are trying to update their data information about every data that they have in their database. They are trying to keep up to date the data of each people that sign up.
Yeah.
Only to understand it.
I love that. Okay, you're talking about.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. In my own opinion, I think because after some year, like 1 year or 2 years, they said, "Oh, we care about you. If you can share this, do that." But with what I'm thinking now, I think they want you to know, number one, they still want you to keep using it as their own customer, and then they keep your data. They tell you to share your 1 year experience or something like that. They want you to share it. I think, to me, I'm seeing it as part of the work of a data manager. That, I mean, it's like they were using us to do their own job indirectly.
I love that. Who is speaking?
Tower College.
Okay. I love that. Yeah. Any other person? Yeah, well, you guys have contributed immensely. Okay. You see, when you have a business, you want to maintain the business. Okay. You can see that people sign on Facebook free for those except those who pay for it, but they sign on free for Facebook. And Facebook got a problem and they find a $2.8 billion and they pay cash. I think Facebook is the second richest person now, Abi. I think I just published few days ago. All right. Now, how did he make his money even when you sign it free? Okay, if you change your mobile phone or you change your distance, they will tell you it looks as if your phone is not the same now. Why do you think they have to monitor? Why do you think they have to monitor your phone? Or let me say another word. Let me cite another example. If you are checking something on Google And then before you look, you will find it in Facebook or showing up in your page. Why? It's data. Yeah, it's data. We have somebody who, let me look at what somebody has put right there. Great platform for advertising products. Great. That's Barrister. Okay. A lot of things that happen in this digital world is about your data being used to make money. It's about money. As they're telling, as they are saying they are caring for you, they are telling you they are creating value for themselves. Anytime you click it and share it, any person who opened it, you create value for them. That's what they're doing. And that's what you hear. That's why people who are employed to create that value are being paid highly because they know what they're doing. Okay? They know what they're doing. It's about making money. Okay, so on that basis, I want you to understand that data is just beyond what we think of. It might appear very small in your eye, but underneath it's like it's big. Okay? And of course, why is this so matter? Because it is a fact that data is the most valuable asset in the organization after its people. So who is the most valuable asset? And what? Can somebody tell? Sorry?
Yes, it is the most valuable asset after his people. People.
So which one is the most valuable asset? Is it data or people?
People, of course.
People.
People, there's no data.
Good. Is that correct? Bob Emmanuel? Bob Manuel? Latonia?
Like pointed out here.
Sorry,
Yeah, Bob Manuel.
sorry, sir, I didn't get the question well. I was a little.
That's a yes.
Okay, data and people, which one is the more valuable asset?
I'm listening, sir. You mean for the organization?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think they both play different roles. For data, if you get your data well organized, it enables you make informed decisions, which means it helps you to grow your company, know how you are faring, helps you to get to where you want to get, where you want to go to, whether more like your focus, company's objective. Then for people are your resources you use to carry out the functions of the company to also take you to where you want to go to. So you need data to guide people to be able to achieve that.
Okay, you're talking as an engineer. Are you mechanical engineer?
Petroleum.
Petroleum engineers. Where are you signing from?
Nigeria, sir.
Nigeria. Okay, all right. So, so keep that one. You'll soon hear what, if your hand is up.
Yes, I was going to say after people, data comes after people. Say, for example, you are a sole trader or you're someone who sells, for example, wigs. Without the data on your phone, you can't sell those wigs because you don't have the people. Sorry, without the people, you can't sell. So you need people to be your contacts for you to be able to say, okay, I have sold 3 hair pieces to a person. I have sold this to that person. And you need all that contact information on your phone. But you only get that contact information when I meet you for the first time. I say, oh, can I have your phone number? I sell this, I sell that. So I might be able to market to you. Without me speaking to you or without me connecting people, then I won't have any data on my phone.
Okay, thank you so much. Ola?
Yes, please. Regarding the question, even though both work in complement each other, sorry. I'm of the opinion that people is more important. And my reason for that assertion is this: without people, there can be no data. As simple as that.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Yeah, someone want to speak?
Yeah, to add to that, both work together, but I would say that data is more important in an organization because it defines organization's uniqueness. Because each data comes with its own uniqueness, but yet people are still also important because I think it's the people that will be able to manage the data. But data is more important.
Oh,
Hello, sir.
yeah,
Yeah, this is Tara Khalid.
yeah.
So I'm going to oppose that data is more important than people because that's in my own opinion. Without people, there's nothing like data. I think someone have said that before. And yeah, because number one, what do you want to work on? What data do you want to work with? Who wants to use the data? On who and on what? So I think people are more, I support that it's people, it's not data anyways.
Okay, so let me come back to, thank you so much. Let me go back to the slides before. 7.5 quadrillion bytes of new data created every day. What does that mean? Is the data more important than the people?
No, sir.
No.
Who created the data?
People created the data, of course.
Okay, so this is why I say, because I'm dealing with people who are experts right now. And when you're going to face interview, I'm going to ask some few interview questions quickly before we go to whatever training we're going to have more, because all these things we are doing are just play at the moment right now. So the thing is this, okay? If you look at things properly, data exists before people were created. Okay? But if people are not there, no one will see whether there's a data. So that means people are more important than data. So if any data has to be well structured, whether it's been there ever before human being was created, because data were created before human being. Okay, it's a very big word I'm saying. But human beings are the people who needs to now recognize those data that have been created. So if the human beings are not there, those data available cannot be collected properly. So cannot be also appropriated, it cannot be structured. So in the organization, to be quite honest, human beings are more important than the data, because the human being that will get the data that has been created by God himself in the beginning. And the same human being will not structure it. So no human being will not be seeing the data. So that means in the organization, data are more important after human being, after people. After people means this thing need to be well known. Olu, your hands up, or did you put it down? Because I like when people bring their ideas out. Okay, so it is a fact that data is most valuable asset in an organization after its people. Also, it is critical. Olu, your hand is up.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
You said data was created before people.
Yeah.
So can you just shed more light on that?
Yeah, so if I want to go deep on that, it's about from creation.
Okay.
So God created a lot of things, and he now created a man. But there was no man to take the soil to understand what the world God has created. Then he had to make man in chapter 2. So the man is the one that assign names to this, assign names to that. That is why man is so important in organization. I think you're already clapping for me. Thank you. Yes. So in other way, when it comes to organization, organization means to be well organized. So that's where man comes in first before the data. Otherwise, data has been there from creation. So the man now had to create more on it. Barrister, your hand is up. It's a good thing to hear from you when you have opportunity to speak.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That's a very good question. Whoever asked this question, I will say that's a very good question you've asked. Let's put it in perspective. Without human beings, like you've rightly stated, or the other contributors, there's no data. And let's look at it from the other point of view. I think our sister was saying that probably data has more importance. Let's say the data is there and there's no human being to process or take it further or even read the so the data will just be there, and nothing happens.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, without human being, data doesn't go anywhere. It's the human being that will put the legal framework in place. It's the human being that will say, okay, these are the standards that we'll have to follow. It's the human being that will bring about security. It's the human being that will say, okay, we have to do X, Y, Z. We have what we call the green and the brown field. The brown field means there are there's already data there for you to work with, whilst the green field, there's nothing for you to work with. Although sometimes some employers might tell you that, oh, it's actually a brown field, but when you go there, you now find out that this is actually more or less a green field. So it's an opportunity for you to actually negotiate. So at the end of the day, without human beings, you go nowhere.
Absolutely.
And that is why a lot of organizations, I give you an example where the reason why a lot of investors go to countries where they have population is because without population, your products they don't go anywhere. And that's why the internet is actually the biggest market. And again, that's why a lot of organizations could spend millions, billions on data because they know the importance of data and analysis management. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. So let's move forward. Thank you for that. Actually, Olu, your hand is up. Is it the first one? Is it the one you've done before? All right, let me proceed. Okay, thank you. So, for the purpose of the word organization, to organize means it has to put in order. In orderliness, it is people that will put data in order. So whether it says this before man or no, in organization, people are most valuable asset than data. So, and it's because it's a fact also that data is critical to the running of business functions and also processes the same. So without data vigilance and efforts to maintain order, which is why we're talking about orderliness in organization, data entropy and anarchy indeed reigns. Okay, so Manuel, your hand is still.
Yeah, sorry, something just struck me now, and I thought I should share this for those that might be wondering if data is still more important. Let's take it this way. Facebook was fined about $2 billion.
$2.8 billion.
$2.8 billion. Facebook, it's being piloted by a human being. And they had to find the human being behind Facebook. So that in itself just tells us that human being is the key.
Okay.
It's paramount and is the pivotal, when it comes to pivoting data, is human beings. Thank you.
Let's put in more perspective. You that is here being trained now, they won't pay data money, they will pay you money. So, Louis, your hand is up, engineer Louis. If you
Yes, sir.
You have time for us. Yeah.
Hi, everyone again. What I'd like to chip into what Vice Manager just talked about As time goes by, all what you have been told yesterday, with time you get a grip of it. There's actually this course is not only about just teaching about data. You let to get curious. In fact, if you are very the end thing I would say, if you're really serious about this course, you will get there. You could be if how serious you are determines on how fast you can get there. When I started this course, I got my first certification under less than 2 months. I got 3 certified certificates. And one of it is what I'd like to discuss about. It's called business intelligence. I'm sure with time, Pastor will let you know about that course line. And when you read about that course, it will elaborate everything about sections of data, how data is being, and who uses data, who creates it, and that way you can elaborate more on where you would like to fit into data itself. You see more about data analysts, business analysts, data engineers, and other cyber security platforms as well, where you can fit in and say, okay, this is what I would like to major in. It's a very interesting course. I feel that's actually the baby step into this course. I really implore you all, and please endeavor to partake. Don't take this class for granted. It's a very intriguing class. It's something that I felt, in fact, I feel really, really empowered to be here. And trust me, we have renowned analysts from different aspects of data who would shape you up to the world. In fact, I could say my first 4 months into this class, when I went into it, I got an interview. And when I stood in front of them, they were so impressed.
Absolutely.
And it shaped me up to where I want to be and where I want to major in. And so that's all I'll say about that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Engineer Lewis. I've already told them that I know if they are under you. I'm a simple guy, but you will not be simple with them because you believe that everybody has to be serious in doing what they do.
Yeah, and yes, very important. Guys, everyone here, please, one very important aspect about data governance, it's a course, it's a job itself where you have to rub minds with other people. So it's a course where you have to be constantly interacting. You don't keep quiet in this kind of course or class. Or if a pastor should place you in a group, do not expect that you keep quiet and the others will bring the answers. Everybody will if you are placed under my group, trust me, you will talk. You must talk. You can't be quiet and the others will do the work. Whatever you contribute is never too small. And trust me, every idea is welcomed. Because I might see you might be a data analyst, I'm a data analyst, and we might see things differently. And this is where we come together and see the best course of action to get it done.
Yeah,
all right.
Thank you so much. I have alluded to that when I thought you were busy where you are. So I think I've also informed them. You know, you need to be serious to be in this course. You need to be ready to be, so that you have to represent us well and make some money. But don't forget that you make money. Don't forget us, okay? All right. So that is very important. And you know, if data are not well taken care of, the impact will be what? What will the impact be? We have Tawakalit. If data are not well managed, what will be the effect? Anyone?
Yes. This is Tawakalit.
Okay.
If data is not well managed, number one, let's say for instance, every one of us here, and you told someone to be writing both the initial and the first name, and the initial of the last name, and you told someone to write then the date of birth and every other information, and then one was actually missed, like not missed, but to enter incorrectly,
Mm-hmm.
then probably you want to use the names and all the data for something else, then one has been entered incorrectly, then it means that it will become an information and not data, because it's not
So what will
it's not
happen
well
if it's not well managed, poor management of
yeah.
data, what will happen to the company?
Then the company might end up to fold. If that is something that is like, they might end up to be in debt.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Ola,
They
thank
can
you so
fold
much.
up eventually if it's something that is very large. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Ola, your hand is up. Is it the old one or what? Oluwafumi. Oluwafemi, your hand is up.
Sorry, I'll put it down now.
Okay. Louis, I think that one should be the old one. Anyway. So, all right. So any other person who, if there is poor management of data, what will happen?
Data not well managed could lead to could have a lot of negative effects, such as poor decision making or forecast. Say, I'll still use a simple example, like you want to sell wigs. You don't know the audience you're selling to. You come and sell it in a place where people braid their hair more. Of course, you're going to lose whatever profit you're going to be making. In fact, you're going to make a loss on your business rather than a profit. Or in the winter, you're selling summer clothes rather than winter clothes. You will lose profit. So it could lead to poor decision making. It could lead to missed opportunities. It could lead to damaged reputation. I will use my country as an example, where the last elections, the data was not properly managed. Of course, with lots of negative fallout from that. I'm not to say anything about whoever is being put in power, but I'm just saying that there were a lot of adverse consequences of that. And now we see a lot of suffering going on in the country right now due to some people. Well, I won't say it was data not well managed, but deliberate mismanagement of data. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Regulatory compliance, because the company has not met the regulatory requirements, they could face significant fines from the whatever tax office or revenue office is collecting money or whatever from.
Oh, thank you. Barrister, your hands up.
Thank you very much. I would like to speak from the perspective of a pharmacist or the NHS, health worker, or medical doctors.
Yeah.
As we're all aware, if you go to a pharmacist today, or you want to collect your prescription, especially where it has to do with some medication, it has to be cross-checked by another worker to ensure that you get the right prescription, because any mistake or error could lead to dire consequences. We've heard of cases where some people were given the wrong medication and it led to some trust hospitals
being
fined, not just fined, some of them were even taken to court, and they have to pay a lot of compensation. We've also heard about cases where the wrong diagnosis from medical doctors. There's one that we always say, I think I'll leave it to Pastor to say, like our CEO said, there are some countries in Africa that you just can't imagine what they do, all because of they don't have conscience. I mean, some people say some people don't have I say everyone has a conscience, but some just decide to be dead to their conscience. There's this couple, they relocated from the UK to Nigeria, and a doctor in Lagos said that the guy was diabetic. Meanwhile, when they were in UK, there was no problem with this guy. And at the end of the day, just because of money, the doctor said, well, the only solution is that we have to amputate your leg. They got everything ready. And at the end of the day, the wife now said, honey, why don't we go to the UK to have a second opinion? We have all it takes. And they came over here. Fortunately or unfortunately, we know the doctor that was on duty. He was so ashamed that all the documents were fabricated. There was nothing wrong with this guy. So you can imagine when it comes to ethics, I think doctors, lawyers, and some other professions, they're actually on top of the list. But you find out that what some of these so-called professionals do, it's so, I don't know, it's, whenever I think of some things that happen in Nigeria, it's really, sorry, I didn't want to call that on that name. It's, yes, so that's it anyway. I've also had some cases of when some so-called professionals called me from over there telling me that, oh, this has to be done because some other lawyers do that. I said, no, we don't do that here. So these are when it comes to ethics, that's why we also have ethics. Ethics is actually one of the keys when it comes to data governance. Thank you. Sorry, that's why I don't like speaking. I talk too much. Thank you.
Pastor, you don't talk too much. Actually, what you said was actually quite truthful. I would like to bring in a case file and a reality check for those. I know we have students all around the world who attend this class, but I would like to liaise more on where I'm based here, which is the UK. And that is, and those who are here can actually attest to such statement, which I'm about to state. Now, for instance, when you are here in the UK and you go to your GP, for instance, you're not feeling well, they're going to documentate what's going on. And I believe this is also practiced in Nigeria to a certain extent. And then you are now referred to the hospital. Now, for the fact that let's just say you have malaria, though it's rare here in the UK, you have malaria and you're being given antibiotics, and you take those drugs and go to the hospital here in the UK and tell them, okay, I've been to my GP, but things are not working well, but this is what I'm on right now. Now, they're not going to depend. Yes, they will acknowledge you've gone to the GP. They can see it on the database that you actually went to the GP due to data that was transferred to them. Now, in data governance, there's something that you're going to, because data governance is not just about data, it's how you treat policies as well. When you dive deep, it's really deep. You dive deep, you're now dealing with policies. And there are situations whereby you can be employed in a company whereby you're dealing with national and let's say international, multinational complex. Yeah, different policies of which you have to, and there's a body that governs this from where when you move into this company because they gave you their database to liaise, because all at the end of the day we're all giving the customer value for what they've whatever business they've taken or insurance or whatever it is. And you get to, as a data governance, you now start to look at it on how you represent your company and see how best you can look at those policies guiding your organization to reflect the end point, which is customer consumption, of whether or not you are implementing the what's it called again? I do apologize my language. You're actually giving the ends meet of the oh geez, what's the word, pastor, for the our policy holders? Yes. Those who are actually involved, who employed you. The data owners. So which here in the UK, when you are sick and you go into the hospital, they're not going to depend. Yes, they'll take on board what you got from your GP, but they're not going to depend on that because they're going to conduct their own tests on you. And that's a form of data accuracy or data profiling, whereby they say, okay,
he was there, he had fever or he had a headache. We actually did further tests and found out that, okay, he's lacking this and and that's a symptom of maybe pneumonia or whatever it is. Now they've discovered other things which they are going to put in there and now transfer that data to actually a doctor. Now, once the doctor looked at it and said, okay, all this test has been done, now I know how to tackle the problem. And that's how you get treated quickly. The same thing, because I work in the insurance area, where, for instance, we send out a roadside, for instance, a BMW and a Lamborghini, and a roadside attendant attended to that vehicle. Now, maybe they discover there's an oil leak. Now, that is fine, and that cannot be sorted out on the roadside. They recover the vehicle to the dealership. Now, the dealership are supposed to diagnose the vehicle, not just based on that oil leak. They diagnose the vehicle, do a health check on that vehicle, and thereby now recommend the next means on how to fix that vehicle, of which will pass, if the vehicle has warranty, they pass it on, and then everything gets. But what I'm trying to bring here in is how data transfers from you just noticing, oh, my car is overheating, to a tech coming out to you, oh, why it's overheating is because there's a leak or there's this or that, and then going over.
If there's understanding that if they fail to manage that well, so there will be a lot of, issues.
Yes.
Those may not be connected. Oh, yeah, if your hand is up as well.
Yes, I will say, I was going to say poor data management could also lead to data duplication. We've seen countries, again in the third world countries, where people have died, but their data still remains on the system, and the government organization still pays salary to those people, or some people deliberately withhold that information just so they can collect the salaries of these disease.
Yes, ghost workers.
You also have the case of pension payments, where because of poor data mismanagement, they don't know the actual number of pensioners who are meant to be paid monthly, because someone is there trying to duplicate or trying to cut corners by taking these people's pensions. So there are loads and loads of negative consequences of poor data management. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Before I go further, I just want to acknowledge two people who came in, which of course I'm not too sure. Who is APP or iPhone 6? Who is iPhone 6?
iPhone 6.
Yeah. Who is iPhone 6?
I don't know if that's me. I've got an iPhone 14.
Okay, iPhone, the one speaking. Who is
this is Nicholas, Nick.
Oh, Nicholas. Okay, you can type your name as Nicholas. Let me rename you.
Let me try and do
I can do that here from here. Nicholas. Nicholas. Okay. Nicholas Dominic.
That's the one, yeah.
Okay. I just want to know who is APP? APP?
I don't think that person is here anymore.
No, yeah, okay. All right. Okay. Yes, for data purposes, we need to know who is with us. Okay. Now, all right, Manny, your hand is up. I just
all right, thank you. Just to add to what CEO and Louis had said, I had a case with the insurance company where I told them that my Merc should be removed, because I had two cars, a Merc and a Tesla, that were insured with the company. I told them to remove the Merc, and the staff that I spoke with said I told them to cancel the policy. And obviously that cost me a lot of money. And where I was, I couldn't drive from there I complained. I said I wanted to speak with the management. They said they've listened to the tape that I said it was the policy. I demanded for the tape. So at the end of the day, you could see if you know you're right, and also the person or the staff on the other end obviously did not follow the instructions she was given. When I insisted that I wanted to take this further, they now called me to say they were sorry. And at the end of the day, they've actually listened to the tape. I was compensated for that because that cost me a lot of problem. In fact, the policy jumped up to about £10,000 per year because of that problem. It jumped up to £10,000 for the Tesla. So you can imagine that. And where I was, I couldn't drive away from there. So I had to tell them that, well, this has to be sorted out ASAP. They said, oh, all I could do was to go and get other quotes from other insurance companies.
Yeah.
No, it's their mess. They're supposed to handle it.
Yes, I actually wanted you to speak on that, Lois. Thank you.
Yeah,
It's their mess. And that's why we have audit control.
That is, I really know what everyone is saying. Those are the poor management of data. I think Louis know more about those things around.
Yeah.
So
And
I
then
want
through
us,
the FCA guidelines.
yeah, I want us to realize that you know, we just have to work with the time. This is very important that everyone get to know. When there's a poor management of data, it's going to affect an organization economically. Of course, revenue will deplete because once revenue deplete, you have a cost effect, and then the profits begin to low. So there's no optimization process. So if you auto-optimize by creating a valuable asset of which of course they buy into, which is the data is that is valuable. And then if you cannot optimize, you have invested in terms of cost on making sure that your data has high quality or integrity, and then you see a depletion of revenue by as a result of poor management, then your profit will go down. So it will affect the stakeholders' insight, and also not only that, we talk about reputation and brand. Invariably, there will not be loyalty, and then especially when you have a situation that you mismanage people's data, it will result to litigation as a result of risk and non-compliance issue. And that alone is a very, very, very a big issue for a company. That was why Facebook was found 2.8 billion when they're trying to transfer data from Europe to US. They didn't look at, consider a lot of regulations and compliance issue concerning this. So you are learning this thing so that when you are trying to have scalability or try to move to cloud, as a result of handling more robust high complexity data, then you must look at a lot of policies, procedures, and standards and criteria to which you can carry out to ensure that done. So if you don't do that, I don't know why they should be paying you a big amount of money. By the way, Uduak, Latonia, Mamadou, Nicholas, Bob Manuel, if you receive 400 pounds a day, why are you laughing, Bob Manuel?
Only the 400 is okay. It will be okay.
If you receive 400 pounds, a day,
it will be okay. It will be okay for now. If you consider naira, so I just need to let you land.
In a day, in a week, how much would that be?
So when you start with the day, the week will be very okay. If a day can be okay, so
how much would that be in a week?
It would be £2,000.
2,000 pounds.
2,800.
2,000 pounds.
For 5 days.
In a month, how much would that be?
8,000.
8,000. Who is iPhone? iPhone?
This is Tawakalit, sir.
Oh,
sir, I want to ask a question.
Okay, who wants to ask a question?
Bob Manuel.
Bob Manuel from Nigeria.
Yes.
Our ears open.
Okay, so I mean, in the past there was a case of where Toyota had to recall some of their vehicles, and it was put out there in the public, and they had to like recall those models for some technical reasons. I feel maybe somewhere, maybe data was compromised. What I want to ask is, how do you categorize this? Because I want to place it into this category if it's right, that data was not well managed. Because they were doing design, and for some reason they came up with the conclusion this was ready for the market, and then after probably some 1 or 2 case histories of where they had accidents, and they traced back and found out that, I think it's something that was wrong with the design in this particular model, and then they recalled back. So definitely they've been cost, they've lost money, they've spent money during production, they will have to recall, which is also under loss. Their reputation out there in the market is also at stake. Their customers' feedback and all that. So I want to know if that's like a good example for this data mismanagement thing.
Absolutely.
Pastor, if I may, I can handle this one very well.
Okay, handle it.
Because we're currently doing that one as it is right now. Now, like I said, I work in the insurance sector, and we have multinational companies that we work with at the moment. I'm talking not just BMW, Lamborghini, Volvo, and the rest. A lot of them. And this thing you're talking about, them recalling Toyota itself as well, is called a recall. And in the case of a recall, majority of the coroner is the EGR coolant. I happen to know about it a lot because I've dealt with many of these cases, and we validate the policies around these problems. Now, these cars were designed, like you said, and they were brought into production for consumption use. Now, global warming is an issue right now, and every company are not taking this lightly. I'm going to be honest with you, whereby we have an engine with an AdBlue, especially the diesel engines, and we're having issues of where there's supposed to be an emission that comes out. It's supposed to be minimal. That's just the start. It's supposed to be really minimal because the world is moving up really fast. And whereby you have some chips which are created from China or whatever it is that are supposed to regulate these emissions, and these things are not this current status of how, or level or standard of how a car should work. The present cars which have already, or the past cars who have already been created, are not working up to that standard. Now, all these companies, they are all insured. Trust me, Toyota, they are all insured. This is where the insurance come into place. Now, the new technology will now be put. They're now going to look on how they can configure the new technology into the old cars that are currently out there already, that are already been bought by consumers, and they call these customers back through the data. They have all these cars by their chassis numbers, so that when a customer calls up that, oh, I'm experiencing this problem, immediately the system picks it up. It comes to us and we say, okay, this is an EGR issue. It doesn't matter whether the customer is insured or has breakdown cover or not. Instantly, that vehicle is recovered. Customer stays at the comfort of their home, drink a cup of tea, and we come over, recover the vehicle, take it to the dealership, and it gets sorted out, and we return it back. That's just customer. Now, you said about you mentioned something about these companies losing their value. No, like you said, when you create a product and you are giving an after service for a product, it gives more value for that product. In fact, your advert reduces because now the customers are now speaking for you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I actually really allude to what you're saying. Not many people understand that aspect.
Yeah.
If a company has a problem and it does not accept the problem to create more value for himself, and people now respect them, and that's where the problem lies. Toyota himself recorded, not any other, the non-legal framework issue, recorded because they discover a lot of things. So they not only once, they have done it about 3 times, of course. And there's one sensitive thing you mentioned, Louis, about, because of climate something. I changed one of my cars, and where Emmanuel always saying it's only 10 of that in UK. And I was having a different version of that before. So this is a very fast car. And it works on different mode of turbo. They produce it because of climate change. If you are in a very heavy traffic and really heavy traffic, you could see that before you get to where you're going, you discover that a lot of cars will stop, a lot of cars will have problem, a lot of cars. This is even in Europe. If it is Nigeria, it's going to be a problem. Okay. So when you have typical temperature range, so if such a thing occur and your heavy traffic, emissions very high, and everything going on bad, temperatures high, serious traffic, and then you're going to have a problem. So this is where now there's a generation of energy production right now that doesn't really need to have a high emission, and even they use a lot of water to assist the flow of their turbo. So there are production that are taking place right now that from impact of poor management of data, like as Mali actually referred to the other time, really affect people to make people to have a strategic decision in terms of design. So it's about poor management of data that especially Toyota have that problem of brakes, and Volvo have problem of, in a car, the fuel cover, and so many things just going on in one way or the other. It's poor management of design. Don't forget that for a specific car to be on the road, it could be different companies manufacturing different parts. So that could be the reason why they record some of those. Moving forward, please, because of time constraint, I want us to go through some questions that may, especially for those who are going for interview this period. Then we'll continue in the training next week. Okay. Yeah, the category that it falls on is about data. Bob Manuel, the category that it falls on is about wrong data management. So that caused the whole thing. And also there's no quality assurance, not just quality control, no quality assurance of those data. And the whole problem is that when you're a data analyst, analyze something wrongly, there's going to have after effect in after visualization in terms of decision making when the business analyst can have to look at it all, also in conjunction with chief executive or stakeholders. That is where the problem lies. We must lay emphasis on how to create good value by having data integrity. Okay, thank you. As we begin to move on, you will see why. Yeah, if Louis is going to be around and Barrister are going to be around, you're going to see some examples that you're going to be seeing in terms of insurance. Why is it that some area people insurance is high? Why is it that some cars, the insurance is high? Why is it that in medical field there are problems? Especially when you begin to talk about descriptive analytics or data analysis, why we're going to go on practical when we're going to use a tools of like MySQL or Power BI. So you're going to be seeing a lot of things that will come up, okay? So thank you for really sharing and being part of part of this training. So now let me move straight to a very big question, of course, which of course I know you have to put in your heart. You may be asking it, those who are going for interview quickly, they're going to ask you what is data governance and why is it important. Don't forget to ensure that the data integrity must be there. Okay, it's a management of availability. This is my own definition because from experience, it's very, very good. So you can have a lot of definition as you deem fit, but I lay emphasis on the word integrity there because if there's no integrity of data, what Bob Manuel has brought in will always be the aftermath of a problem of what will happen. You have not created a valuable asset that need to be back into. Okay, right. What experience do you have in data governance? Okay, for those who are going for an interview, they're going to ask you that question. And they ask you that question. If you really need proper answer to that effect, please send message to me with your test. I'm going to give you so many or arrays of answer to that. You could say, I have several years of experience. You can name it. It's 5 minimum working in data governance, including developing and implementing data governance framework. So right now, this is where it comes from. When you talk about developing, that means the field may be brownfield, which implies that the field that has been worked on, but there's a problem there where you are employed. But if you say, I created and implement data governance frameworks, that shows that probably it's a green field. Not probably, it is a green field. Okay, so a field that has not been worked on, so you should know your salary is going to be high. So you should be earning a minimum of £570 or £600 a day. So very important. And whatever you need, we're going to provide you right here. We assist one another. And a procedure as well as managing data quality. That's come by our initiative. When you're going to manage data quality, there's initiative. And also you have metadata management. That is very important, create data security. So these three things, ego, are you still there? Do we have ego there? Levels? I think this, I need to highlight this for people to understand. Okay?
I'm here, sir.
So should I make this here bold and highlight it and underline it?
Yes.
But very important, please. I didn't want to do it because if you're able to, mention these things, you are really there. Okay. But how do you do this? How do you do this? So that's why I also need to let you know. If you send me email, I'm going to give you arrays of examples that you can relate or articulate during your interview for those who are going for interview. Okay, I have also worked closely with business stakeholders to understand. In this one, you can say a cross-functional department where you see different kind of data owner, data stewards, and to have an agreed decision-making process to be implemented in order to create value. Okay, to understand their data needs and ensure that data governance policies align with business objectives. So in most cases, they're going to be asking you which department would data governance be? Is it IT department or what? Please don't ever create it. Many people think it's IT department. Don't ever say IT department because it's never IT department. It's in business department, business. So you need to ensure when you have a program in your framework where you need to prepare your program to align with business goals and objectives. In that case, you'll be able to know how to create value quickly because you have to ensure that every stakeholder, especially the chief executive, buy into your program. Okay, all right. Please take note of that. Well, I have a lot of questions I will be asking in each of those curriculum to be where I'm invested with. What is our expectation is, if your hands up.
So for the new people on the platform, someone might be wondering what a data governance framework is. So I would say, a data governance framework, just as it says there, it's a set of guidelines, policies, and procedures. And what would the framework look like? The framework normally would consist of data governance structure. And the structure would look like this. It could be senior executives in the organization. It could be senior business leaders. It could be IT leaders. It could be anyone in a key position. And what they do is that they oversee whatever this data governance structure is going to be like. They provide guidance. They say, okay, this is how we want it to be. That is how we want it to be. We want it to be like this. We want it to be like that. Then you have the people who will actually input this data into the system. And those are called the data stewards. Then you also have the owners of that data. So who are the owners? Is it the IT department, or is it the human resources department, or is it the training department? So these are the owners. Then you also have the custodians of that data, which could also be the IT people, because most of the time when people come into a new organization, the first people that they contact is, right, we have so and so resuming with us on the 31st of the month. Can you make sure his or her name is on the system? Of course, that is only done either by the IT department, who will put on the system in collaboration with the HR department. So these are the people who will make up the framework at the beginning. That's what I just wanted to chip in. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ife. Very, very important. And yeah, moving forward on that. So this is very important, and the framework you have heard of it. Also, for the new people, we're going to teach you how frameworks are. So if you're for those who are going for interview, you need to get this and say, how do you ensure data quality in an organization? This is a very big thing. It's not limited to the answer I've just given here right now, because I can also give you more, okay? And I'm going to, maybe next time, I'm going to ask some few short questions on it. Could be optional on that, okay? To ensure data quality, I would establish what? Hugo, are you still there? You establish what? Data quality cleansing? Yeah? Okay? Is that correct? Data quality cleansing? So those who have looked at data cleansing, yeah. Louis, your hands up.
Yes, sir. Hi, everyone. Speaking about cleansing, I'd like to speak about my own experience at work. There was an instance where I got into a policy for a particular company in regard to a VIP client. Is actually a celebrity. Now, when I got into that policy, I noticed the customer was be it a celebrity, complained about some things. And looking at that policy, I didn't create it, but I knew the name who created it, and I saw the errors made. All I did was put in my remarks. I didn't complain about the job, and then I sent it out. It got to somebody that was above me, and they noticed that person who created it, they just got into the company. They've not fully had a grips on their role.
Okay.
Yeah, but for the fact I was trained
to
correct that, and I failed to do that, my manager called me and said, we noticed you came into, because the system is designed, is that when you come in, your ID comes in. They know what you did. So that's how they can, and that's where data accountability and integrity comes in.
Yeah.
And my manager said, oh, okay, yes, we know you didn't do this. The error was made, but the fact that we know you are capable of rectifying this problem, why didn't you correct it?
Yeah.
And that's when I became dumbfounded. I was like, oh, he said, you need that. This is why we entrust you to this level of access into the database.
Wow, that I love that because
Now, that was the word he used. I apologized immediately.
Okay, that means
and I knew that as much as you are put in a place, there's more responsibility expected from you. Yeah. And instantly, I don't turn a blind eye to any policies that comes around me. If I see a problem, I don't report anybody because I don't want anyone's job to go. I quickly correct it. And when the other people look into it, they say, okay, we saw this before, but now it's been corrected. Who corrected it? They see my name. It's okay. Yeah, we trust him. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I love that example. Those typical examples, very, very important. They look at how your responsibility and accountability in your position. They don't pay you big money for nothing. It's for a reason. So you have to really let them know. If you know that they gave you access to do something and they have not authorized you to have a change of policy, you will not do it. But if you say, okay, they gave you everything and you have not done it, that means you need to carry your obligation. If your hand is up.
Yes.
So thank you, Mr. Lois, for that. I was going to say one or two people might be wondering, right? How was this policy created? So all of we, in whatever organization or whichever background you come from, somehow or the other, we all have policies in our lives. I'll use like a primary school or a secondary school. The policy there, so some of the policies that have been created there for the students is right. Once you come into the classroom in the morning, there's no going out of the school gates. So that's one of our policies. Well, that's one of the things we're going to put in our own policies. No going out of the school gates, no allowing any other person who is not a member of this school to come in. That is a policy that all of the students collectively will make. Is that agreed? The head teacher will say that's agreed by everyone. Once you come in by 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the morning, nobody goes out of the school again until when the bells go at the end of the evening, when it's time for us to all go home. Everybody agrees. So now we are all part of that policy making. Then sometimes the teacher will say, okay, when you come in, for you to come in through the gates, you would have a password. Everybody would have their own unique password. Is that agreed? Some people say no. So if we all have our own unique password, and I forget my password, how do I come into the school gate? Some will say no. Let's all have the same password. That if you don't have that password, the security personnel will not allow us into the compound, just like you do in so many estates in Lagos and all that. They will not allow us to come into the compound. Is that agreed? Everybody says yes. So that will form part of the policy. Then they will say, okay, if this policy is not complied with, if anybody breaches that security thing, and what do we do to that person? The students will say, okay, if that person breaches it once, twice, we will fine them we will tell them to pay money, or they will be punished, or they will have to kneel down and hands up, or whatever they do, and everybody agrees to it. So those are all part of the policies. Then another one will say, if anybody gives this password to someone who is not a student of this school, and that person comes into the school without authority from any teacher or anything, what happens? Some students, okay, this is what and what we're going to do. So these are all ways in which that school can create a policy. So it involves not just the students, it involves the teachers, it involves the IT department, it involves the arts department. Every arm of that school gets involved in making that policy. That is how to create policies. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Barrister, your hand is up.
Thank you very much, Bishop. Rightly so, speaking on integrity, legal framework, and also standardization, I'll give an example from the healthcare sector. There was this service user that I worked with. Unknown to us, the service user actually died 2 years ago, and the family was still collecting money. Anyone that goes to say he wants to do an assessment, the son will just say, no, don't worry, we're fine. There's what we call direct payment. So direct payment, the mom was having 4 calls a day, daily. I said, well, there was something that wasn't right, because on the system, I will see that, don't worry, mom is fine. You don't have to come and see, you don't have to come home to do the visit or the assessment. I insisted, and lo and behold, this guy started getting confrontational, and I decided to change the modules of communication to written, to just writing, so that we won't be speaking on the phone. And after getting enough information, we now went on unannounced visits. The wife said, please don't tell my husband I told you. Mom actually died 2 years ago. And we're collecting for 4 calls a day. You know what that means? 4 times they said carers were coming in. So they were meant to be paying direct, because they said the one provided by the local authority wasn't good enough. So at the end of the day, I was able to bring about change, not just to that local authority, and also other local authorities across the UK. So it's very important that you know what you're doing, you listen to yourself, that God's instinct. They always say that God's instinct. And also in terms of ensuring that integrity is not jeopardized. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Barrister.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
Bob Manuel here. So would this be correct? Like if you are actually employed into this role of data management, what would be expected of you from your employer? Will it be that you should, as an immediate thing to do, request for data that they have and quickly do a data check, or more like data quality check? Is that what it is? So you look out for what it is. Is that what it is?
Of course, if you look at your position, if you look at your position, Olu, do you want to speak or what? Okay, if you look at
yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Regarding the question you asking, I think that's why Facebook updates their users. Like this is from past year, so you like to share it to your current followers. I think for data quality and updates, that's why that's been done. Thank you.
Thank you so much. But Manuel, to complement what Engineer Olu said, I want you to understand this. That's why you're highly paid. Now, let me go back to where we were before. Okay, I'm going to go back to where we were. Louis, do you want to speak? Got your hands up again.
About what the other person just spoke about.
Engineer Manuel.
Yes, Engineer Emmanuel. No, not Barrister Emmanuel. Engineer Emmanuel, what he said just now.
Yeah.
About keeping of data. There's what we call retention, and there's so many levels of retention. Now, in order to manage what can be kept and what can't be kept, I will not mention the name of my company, but we got an email saying they don't know what you are storing on your system. But within a certain period of time, a software will go around, whether your system is on or not, as long as you're connected to that server, a software will go around and take down whatever information that is irrelevant to your job.
Yeah, that is certain. So, like what?
Yes.
Manuel,
so there's what they call retention in terms of and whereby they're trying to validate. Facebook is trying to validate its members to know those who are still active, or those accounts that are still dormant, that have not been used for a certain time. They know. They may not delete it, but they know. And that's why sometimes, even on Yahoo, they ask you certain information. Oh, can you validate your contact? They are just using that to know whether or not this account is still valid.
We have algorithms that they
yes. So they study it.
Yes. So thank you so much, Louis, on that. Just to complement what has been contributed to Bob Manuel's question, Bob Manuel, the reason, can you see the screen, Bob Manuel?
Yes, but maybe I need to expand. Okay, I'm using my phone, but I can see it.
Go to if you make it a landscape, you will see it big.
Yeah, I can actually see it now.
Okay, so can you see here, data governance manager? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Well, up to this amount, £125,000. Is that correct?
Yes, per annum.
They're not paying you this for nothing.
Okay.
They pay you for you to govern data and also manage your governance. So what do you have to govern? Let me give you the JD. The job description is to develop, in this way it's a brownfield. Okay? So develop data governance policies. So now, if you want to develop something, you must know that something is already there. Is that correct?
Correct.
Good. Now, if something that you need to develop and you want to know what you want to develop, you go and see what has been there. So the program, you receive a request to record to the cloud. I can. Let me just say.
That was me. Sorry. It's a lot.
Let me deny all from my side. Or do you want me to record for you?
Yes, please.
That's okay. No matter how it is, also it's already recorded before, so on YouTube. So I have a link to it I can send to you on the whole training. Okay.
Okay, brilliant.
So anyway, that's why anything somebody does somewhere else is being seen here. That's because there's data. Okay. All right. So what is that I want you to understand. Louis, your hand is still up. Why?
In terms of duplication, I wanted to bring an example of my place of work and how that was resolved. And that I knew that had to do with the data governance analyst, and they brought that into development, though it saved the company a lot of money. Okay. And this was because the FCA were complaining about something that was going on, and this was affecting the company where I worked, and they were able to resolve it quickly. Now, there was a duplication issue whereby a customer could call, and this will be imputed on a database. Prior to that, it doesn't concern the customer, although they created this problem. Research have noticed that they are the ones creating it. Because when you log into the system, you now see there's a web entry about a complaint. Now, also sensory issues, like I told you guys, I work in an insurance company and we have to deal with different cars. Now, whereby BMW picks a fault on a vehicle, the vehicle immediately automatically alerts the dealership. The dealership alerts the nearest call center, wherever it is, or the company who is assigned or contracted to it. It comes down to us or where it is. Now, prior to that, the customer may have cited the fault and also tried to impute this and report it directly that, okay, I've noticed this warning light. Meanwhile, the car itself has already sent an alert that there's a fault here. And some customers may not have the liberty to do that immediately, and instantly a call center will call the customer, oh, we've detected there's a fault on your vehicle. Can you please bring it down here? And it improves quality in terms of product. Now, whereby we have a case of duplication, we in return, and maybe a customer service person takes on that file and they're not sure. They just deal on the file based on the web entry, not knowing already on the database that this has already been reported by the car. You will not have access to that immediately. You've already created this. And this brings a confusion between ourselves and the third party companies that why, because they too can see that why are two files here and you're reporting one, there's already one already. It's under regulation is not acceptable. Now, this became a major problem for us. But do you know how they resolved it? They invested into IT. A software came in, and I don't know how they did it, but they were able to configure that software into our database, whereby the moment you punch in a chassis, it just flags up whatever many duplicates that are there. And instead of you creating another file for that vehicle or company, you work on the existing one that is there, and it makes it a lot more easier and reduces duplication.
Okay, I also do a lot of cleansing anyway.
Yeah.
So let me come back to, thank you for Louis. Let me come back to the question about Malwan. So you are going to be paid for that. So when you are paid, you are to carry out a program. Okay? These questions are very necessary because during the teaching, full teaching, you will get there. So, and I just want to flash something that you need to do. Let me stop sharing this because, to be quite honest, we're about to close. We have only 2 minutes to close, and I quickly want to share this so that you can get the understanding of what you need to do. It's just a quick one. Let me have something here answer quickly. Okay. Wow. But Mali, can you see what I'm sharing?
Yes, sir.
Good. So can anyone else see what I'm sharing? Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Good. Now, I want you to understand this. Once you gain interview and you are employed, I'm going to help you in these documents. Make sure you help yourself. The first thing you do is carry out initiative planning, and you have roadmap. We have roadmap of 30, 60, and 90 that will come. Okay, you ask this question, but you haven't reached this level in this training because I'm going to also train you, which is quite different. It's not the same as other people, the way other people train. So you're going to have this, I'm going to make sure you understand the documents, and also when you are employed, if you need help, we are going to be there for you. Okay, that is why we're here to assist, not only just to be paid for training. Okay, initially you're going to know you're going to have access to assess what has been in, what is current situation of the company. So of course, it's easier when you already know that it's a green field, then alone, that is zero. You have to create, okay? But if it's a brown field, you need to know what kind of their standing, the current situation. So then from there you develop and you define, and also you manage and measure, because anything that you cannot control or you cannot measure, you cannot manage. So then you get to optimization. This is how you set your criteria. So by so doing, you need to have what's called gap analysis. You need to know the gap analysis and have a target be drawn for your data governance current situation of the company. So in that, there are ways of doing that, okay? There are ways of doing that. So you will reach this level where you're going to carry out assessment. And then this assessment is the way you will know by the criteria set. You also know current situation and what you're going to be having as a target for that year. The current situation, the capability of the company itself in terms of vision, the current situation, your target and challenges associated with your capacity. If you need more data engineers or need data stewards to be employed to help you meet up with your target, then you're going to let someone know, okay? Is that okay, Bob Manuel? This document is very high, and we'll have other ones of the same that have to create the same thing. So it will be part of your assignment when the time comes. Is that okay?
Sounds very fantastic.
More
very,
than fantastic.
very
More than fantastic. There is nowhere you're going to work in this world that we cannot give you the documents to work with. You need to find a way to create atmosphere that people need to respect and buy into your program. And that leads me to probably the last question before we go. And especially why I'm doing this, because there are people who want to get job quickly without even, going through a strong process, but then we are ready to help, okay? These are serious questions. I want to ask one specific question, which, okay, look at this question. We may go back to this question next time we're meeting, but these questions are, what are some of the challenges you have faced in implementing data governance, and how did you overcome them? Very, very important. This question always comes. So, but I will not attempt to do it now. We're going to leave it. Next time we meet, we're going to look at those questions properly, and for those who are going for interview, and then those who just coming in, we're gonna go through curriculum properly as usual. Is that okay? Do you enjoy yourself today?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Duarte. Do you enjoy yourself today, everyone?
Absolutely. A lot to take in.
A lot taken. Love that. Love that. Yeah. Latonia?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Very well, sir.
Very well. We're saying very well then.
Our college.
Kali. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah. But Manuel?
Yes, I think we're gradually seeing the light in the pipeline now.
Man, I love that. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, all everyone that have called. Ramsey. Okay. It might be at work or hearing can contribute. Okay. I told some people to call me, and you, if you know you want to give me a call, send your email to me and test, able to give you some materials. And if you want to some material for me to please, my phone number is there. I think some of you know my phone number. Where is it? Okay. And also, let's see. What's up? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna send okay, I'm sending you, the first number is for phone, the other one is WhatsApp. Text me your email address and WhatsApp and your number across. We can always see and go further and discuss further for certain things. Okay. All right.